To start off by apologizing to all of the Lois fans who are my friends on YouTube before I start ranting because I'm really frustrated by this whole Clark and Lois thing. I'm a huge Superman fan and I feel like this show is really destroying the whole idea of this couple, and it's like they're just ruining it, taking it for granted that, everyone knows about this couple and they really want them to be together. But the people who are on this show, who are Clark and Lois, I just don't see any way possible that this guy is going to be Superman. I mean, I'm a huge Superman fan, but I don't know if it was Christopher Reeve or the writers, but he was just genius in the way that he portrayed Superman as the man, the truth, the justice, the integrity. And Clark was kind of like a cover. It was like a part he was playing to cover for the fact that he was Superman. And Clark was bumbling and he wore glasses and he was kind of a non-entity, which I thought was brilliant because it was like Superman's this awesome guy and then Clark is just like some guy you work with. You barely even pay attention to. But in Smallville, Clark is the person. He dresses like he just stepped out of GQ magazine, which is fine. But it just is so ridiculous because there's no way that Lois or anybody else isn't going to know that he's the same person that's in black. And the blur is just not Superman. I mean, I understand that it's Smallville and they have to start from a different place, and I get that, but this dark, bitter guy who never wanted to be a hero and whines about his destiny and really wanted to be human when he was growing up. I don't know. And it's fine. I think you have every right to take creative license and to write a new story, but stop pretending. Like, you can't have it both ways. I mean, people say, oh, he can't tell Lois the truth because she doesn't know that he's Superman until, he becomes Superman. She doesn't know the truth. Well, hello, she doesn't know him before he's Superman. She doesn't go to high school with him. So for him to be lying to her for 5 years, I'm sorry, it's ridiculous. Like, you can't have it both ways. You can't have it where she doesn't know the truth, but then in the real story, she met him after he was Superman. Now we come to this, which is a redoing, and that's fine. But just admit that it's over. Like, the jig is up. The lying is so offensive at this point to me because I think he's such a hypocrite. He's like a big fat jerk to her. I mean, honestly, if you look back to what he's done, it's like what happened in season 8, the sleeping with Lana, the standing her up at the coffee shop. I just think any Lois fan would not want her to be with this guy. I mean, I personally, I want the couple to be better than they're written, and I just really can't stand that the writers have done such a poor job of writing the story. I mean, I could write a better story in my sleep, honestly. I think it's just like, how are you getting paid for this? You call yourself writers, yet and still you have this guy who's so wishy-washy, so can't make up his mind, make a commitment, and then even this season in Echo, when he stands her up again, and then Ida, when he just lies to her face, and then he has such a self-righteous, smug attitude about everybody, where everybody needs to tell him the truth, and Lois needs to tell him the truth about everything in her life. But yet he has this huge secret. It's such a hypocrisy that it just makes him look like a jerk. And Superman is not a jerk. Superman is like awesome. This is not the way that you write Superman. And seriously, it's like so frustrating. Like, Lois is a strong and brave and intelligent woman. Who wants her to be with this jerkwad who just jerks her around? Which brings me to her cousin, Chloe. Wow. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish with this character, what they're doing with her, but to me, she's just so wrong. I mean, she doesn't have Lois's back. I remember last season when her whole thing with Clark was, don't hurt my cousin, don't drag her through this Lana triangle, and now in Idol, she pretends to be the blur so that Clark keeps lying to Lois. And then in Charade, she has the nerve, after Lois tells her that she's in love with Clark, to go like a two-faced little snitch and tell Clark, oh, you shouldn't tell Lois the truth, blah, blah, blah. It's just ridiculous. I mean, it's like all she does is obsessively stalk Clark this season, and then have the audacity to just treat her family this way. It's like, wow, with relatives like Chloe, who needs enemies? I mean, she doesn't have Lois's back at all. Like, she should be telling Lois, you know what? I can't tell you what the deal is with Clark because she promised him she would never tell anyone his secret. I can totally respect that, but she should have the good sense and the compassion for her cousin and her friend to tell her, you know, there's things you don't know about Clark and you should know them before you just totally give yourself over to this relationship. And it's not fair. It's not fair that her and Clark are just so like, oh, I cannot stand the way him and Chloe both seem to think that they know what's best for everybody, including each other. And it's like, at this point, if I wasn't such a Superman fan, I'd be like, fine, just put Clark with Chloe. They're just so smug and superior. They deserve each other. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm trying not to rant here, but I love Oliver. I just think he's the only character. I mean, Lois is great, but yet they're just making a fool of her. But Oliver's the only one who's consistent. Yes, he does things that are wrong. He killed Lex, but he regretted it. He was drinking himself into a stupor, and he loved Lois, and he told her, and he's not screwing his ex-girlfriend, you know, behind her back. So I just like, wow. I mean, the writing for Oliver is just so tight, and so, like, I get him, and he's a great person, a great hero. Everything he does, like, I get it, like, he's a person and, you know, he's not perfect. But Superman, oh my God, this guy, I just do not think this guy would ever become, Superman was happy-go-lucky. I mean, yes, he was powerful, he was strong, but the reason he was so commanding wasn't just because of his physical strength, it was because of his internal fortitude. But yet he was light and happy and he would joke with people. But this dark, ridiculous person that they have, the Blur, it's like, oh my God. Ugh. And okay, my last thing is him saving Zod. Why in the world did they have him save Zod? Sure, don't have him kill Zod or just smash him because he's an idiot and he told him not to go near Lois, and then what? Zod calls her and pretends to be him and he does nothing about it. How about Zod is actually dying and Clark is stupid enough to use his own blood to bring him back? Like, why was that storyline even written? Honestly, we could be here at the finale, they could have had Zod save some other way or have him not. They didn't have to have him They didn't have to have him get shot. I mean, really? Why would you have him get shot so then it makes Clark look like the biggest fool on the planet? Because now whatever happens to Tess and Lois and the entire planet is his fault. It's like he's directly related. I mean, Fiore's dead because of Clark. Like, why did you save Zod? There was no reason. No reason. Zod was just kind of a jerk that you weren't sure was evil at the time. No reason to save his butt. I'm serious. Oh, God. It's just so frustrating because, like I said, Superman was just like the ultimate in awesome. Just totally awesome. And Smallville has made him this whiny, pathetic person. Just this wishy-washy, whiny baby. And it's total crap. It's like, fine. If you want to write a story about people who just happen to have the names Lois and Clark and Lana, fine, just do that and have him be obsessed with Lana and have Lois be an afterthought. Like, oh, she's still around after the girl I really want. I can't touch her, so I'll get with Lois. Fine, you want to write a story like that, but at least have the internal integrity to write this story good. Like, it doesn't have to be Superman. He doesn't have to end up in a cape and flying. But for the love of God, like, at this point, I would almost rather Lois not be on there at all if this is what they have to do with the story. I did not watch the show, like the whole first 7 seasons. I kind of, tuned in and out, and I started watching it in season 8 because I'm a Superman fan. So for me, like, Lois and Clark is where it's at. But if she weren't on there, it would be easy. It would be simple. I just wouldn't watch their show. So just the fact that they have Lois on there just always gives me this kind of hope that it's going to be better. And I'm really sick of being frustrated and disappointed and having them just totally crucify the Superman legacy. I'm sick of it. And so I just wanted to say this before I see the finale. because I just don't think Clark can be redeemed in one episode after the crap he's pulled for the last 2 years. All right.